Hello everybody, welcome back to our latest live stream. I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening so far. We got some severe weather though ongoing right now in Nebraska, as well as portions of Minnesota and western Iowa. I'm going to kind of give you the latest breakdown on everything that you need to know in this live stream, including some of the significant hailstorms that we do currently have ongoing. The main threats tonight will be large, potentially some isolated, very large hail, damaging winds, and also maybe an isolated brief tornado is not out of the question over the next couple of hours. Let's begin with our first storm that just got upgraded actually to now golf ball sized hail. This is currently ongoing near Monroe, as well as south of Lindsay, and also east of St. Edward. This one's actually had some broad rotation as well. It is not rotating to the extent where we'll probably have a tornado in the short term, but it might be something to watch over the next several minutes as that tracks down to the east and as well as the southeast. As of right now, it is going towards areas like Monroe, Genoa, as well as going towards Silver Lake. Highway 30 and as well as 22 will most likely be in the track of this cell over the next 10 to 15 minutes as it moves down more to the south actually as of right now. Overall, for the rotation side of it as of right now, it is fairly broad at this point, but there's been a little bit of rotation here. Very, very minimal right now, but we'll have to watch this cell pretty closely again as it tracks down to the south. Hail core is very prominent, by the way. It is a pretty large area of hail right now near St. Edward. It's basically just east of 39. Again, that'll be moving down to the south over the next several minutes. Let's hop back down to the southwest, a more populated region, seeing some significant hailstorms as well. We actually have a fairly significant hailstorm ongoing near Kearney as of right now. This could be potentially producing hail as large as maybe even golf balls as well. This is actually increased from the latest reflectivity scans over the last couple of minutes. We also have a little hail core as well with the other severe thunderstorm warning near Shelton. So you can see there's one right here, and that's again near Shelton and Highway 30. There's also another one over here that is also just north of Highway 30, just off to the west, I believe, of Gibbon or Gibson. But as of right now, this is definitely an increase in the hail core. We will likely get an upgrade on both of these, or at least this warning. We might stay at quarter sized on this one. As of right now, the latest report as of 7 minutes ago was quarter sized hail here just north of Interstate 80 west of Wood River. So that's what we've seen so far on that cell. All right, let's hop back out to the northeast as of right now. We have one severe thunderstorm warning about to expire. That is over north of West Point. This storm does not nearly look as potent as before, but maybe some gusty winds as it heads toward Pender, as well as maybe Thurston. Another few other cells back up here to the north, and we actually now have a considerable threat on this storm as well. We're up to hen egg sized hail on a cell over here in Iowa. This is a brand new update on this severe thunderstorm warning. This is an observed threat, by the way. In Rock Valley, we had golf ball sized hail reported. It is now up to a hen egg sized hailstorm now, moving off to the east as of right now. That'll be going towards Sioux Center, as well as Orange City. So those are the two locations in the track of this. Let's hop over to the velocities real quick. And as of right now, just a damaging wind threat. Definitely, it looks like almost like a backwards hook almost. But as of right now, it's primarily going to be damaging winds, if anything. Otherwise, hail threat is definitely the main concern with that one. A cell just down to the south of this. This is near Strubble, as well as Lamar's, south of Craig, and north of Merrill is currently producing up to ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is also going to be a storm to watch very closely over the next several minutes. By the way, we are currently at 11 severe thunderstorm warnings, so we do have a lot ongoing as of right now. Again, most of those severe thunderstorm warnings across the Central Plains. But as of right now, this warning is going to be moving on, or this storm, excuse me, is going to be moving off to the east. We have a few other cells ongoing back up in southwestern Minnesota. These are primarily just isolated damaging winds. The warning here near Windham just expired. There's another one near Worthington, as well as Brewster as of right now. That's producing quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Not the biggest concern that we've seen so far, but definitely going to be something to watch very closely. And again, we have a lot of cells ongoing. We'll keep you updated with the latest. Let's go back down to the cell over here near Columbus as of right now. And wow, look at the hail core on the last scan. Let's just go back real quick to this. This is an insane-looking hail core here on this one scan that we just had a second ago. You can see it here, all that white showing up. That's, again, any of these blacks and whites are usually representative of some very large hailstones, and that very well could be even exceeding golf ball size. Again, that's just east of St. Edward as of right now. Latest scan did shrink it just a smidge, which is good news, but obviously a lot of hail is ongoing here. We do have a report from 4 minutes ago, by the way, south of Lindsay of quarter-sized hail. So as of right now, that's our latest report. Let's go over to the hail radar. We'll take a look and see what the radar is estimating as of right now for hailstone sizes. And this is a look at the storm as of right now. And yeah, it is estimating about hen egg sized hail right now. You can see that right here. So definitely a little bit of large hail, possibly even very large hail in an isolated spot. Where the report was, by the way, was actually quarter sized hail. So again, you could be just about not even a half a mile away from even the hail core. And the difference of hailstones can be very large. So we very well could be talking an inch difference here overall. But as of right now, that is our latest report. The warning is currently for golf ball sized hail. But again, we very well could see hail even larger than that that over the next several minutes. Let's go over to the velocities again. As of right now, again, rotation's not overly impressive with this. We mostly just have a damaging wind component with this for the time being. Let me hop over to this radar. We'll get an idea what the actual wind speeds are estimated at, and they're actually estimated around 70 miles per hour. That actually, I don't know if that's, it might be a little bit of an overestimate. We're seeing some 65s even, so at least right now the wind threat as of now is 60 miles per hour. It could very well be a little bit higher than that though, but the latest report as of right now, at least the radar estimating around 70 mile per hour winds on this cell, so definitely be a cell to watch as that moves down to the south. We do have another report from Lindsay as well. Again, this is Platte County, Nebraska. There was at 540 some nickel-sized hail. Again, our most recent report was quarter just off the center of where we had our largest hail, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. So we have a lot of storms ongoing. Okay, so this is a new update, by the way, back down near Kearney. We do have a new update of golf ball sized hail here now on this warning. This is the storm that I mentioned before that would likely get upgraded. This is now up to a golf ball sized hail threat right now. That's near Gibbon and east of Kearney, so another cell to watch very closely. Again, make sure you're staying away from windows, lowest floor possible, and whatnot as this storm does move down to the south. Another dangerous cell currently ongoing here as well. There's a lot of crazy storms out there right now, so again, we'll be watching all these storms very closely for you. Again, if you're just tuning in, hit the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me get some chat questions. Obviously, there's a lot of storms ongoing. As of right now, we do have 9 severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me drop that number real quick. No tornado warnings as of right now. Again, there might be an isolated tornado threat, but that should stay fairly low tonight. But you never know, there might be a brief tornado in one of these storms. Definitely be something to watch. And 1 second. Alrighty. Hey, Tori, how you doing? No problem. Glad you're going to be warning your dad. No problem, I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, EJ, how you doing? Welcome back. There was a tornado warning in North Carolina. Yes, there was. I was actually live for that. I was live for whatever that. There was a few tornado warnings that day. I don't know if it was really North Carolina. I know there was at least 1 or 2 in North Carolina. But the bigger area, there was a few tornadoes back up in North Dakota. I'm not sure how many were confirmed, but that was a pretty crazy day there, and that was a 3-hour live stream. It was one of my longer ones in a while. Back to this storm as of right now. This is again back up near St. Edward as of right now. Again, not a whole lot of rotation. As I mentioned before, this is definitely more of a hail threat as of right now. Again, this storm will be moving down to the south over the next several minutes toward Genoa, as well as maybe even Monroe. I believe it's going more of a southerly direction as of right now. That will overall hurt its rotation at this point. And look at this latest scan. Oh my lord, this is a huge hail core that just developed here near Genoa. That's again north of Genoa. That is an extremely larger hail core than what we just saw a moment ago. We could very well be talking potentially some extreme hail coming toward Genoa as of right now. That is a huge spike though, and from what we just saw a second ago, 76 dBz. That is a high amount, at least rain. If not, that is possibly some very large hail that we're looking at here near Genoa. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any sort of reports coming out on this. This is definitely a significant hail core though as of right now. Let's go over to Genoa. Let's take a look if we have anything over in Genoa, Nebraska. This is an extreme hail core, though, that just grew. All right, we do have a new update on the warning. It is now up to hen egg-sized hail. So, latest update, this is now up to hen egg-sized hail on this storm. Again, we are talking extreme hail potentially with this storm right now that is moving down to the south. This is a huge increase in the hail core that we just saw from a moment ago. Currently moving down to the south. Again, Genoa is in the main area in track of this. Silver Creek and Clarks will next be in track of it. Again, this is a massive upgrade from what we just saw a second ago. I mean, this is a huge difference in just a scan. It's crazy. That is a huge hail core, though, that we just saw all of a sudden right here near Genoa. Thank you, Wages, by the way, for becoming a Tornado Chaser member. I appreciate that, Wages. Thank you. Appreciate your support. All right, let me go over to Twitter and see if we got anything. By the way, we do have some sort of photo or video coming in. Let me take a look at that. Over in Fort Bend County in Texas, we actually have some cloud photo or little cloud video coming out. I'm gonna go and retweet on our Twitter. Again, our Twitter will be down in the description below. Pretty cool clouds over there. All right, back to this storm. Let me go. We're going to look at the hail core in about one scan. That usually comes in about one scan delayed. So we'll take a look in a minute to see what the hail is now. It is likely, at least estimated by radar, it's possibly as high as tennis ball size. The latest update on this warning, as I mentioned before, just down to the south, is now up to hen egg sized hail. It is, again, a major upgrade from what it was before. It was actually quarter sized originally. So if you know anybody in Genoa or anywhere even just down to the south of this, like Silver Creek, Highway 30, Clarks, make sure that you are making those people that live in these areas aware of that. And the simple way to do it, if you don't know anybody in these areas, is just liking the live stream. That can help get this message out to more people. Back over to the severe thunderstorm warning, again in a more populated region. This is near Kearney. This is again producing golf ball sized hail. It is an upgrade from before. Our hail core is currently located here near Highway 30. That is again going toward Interstate 80 over the next several minutes. That again could pack a punch to those that are currently on the roadways. Definitely a little bit of a dangerous little hail core now moving down to the south. And again, we got a few of those ongoing as of right now. Beyond this, by the way, we do have 10 flash flood warnings ongoing and one special rain warning. So just for reference, again, no tornado warnings as of right now. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings and several of them are producing some extreme hail. Let's go back up to the storms over here now in just west of Columbus. We'll go back over to this storm as of right now. Our latest report from 5 minutes ago, which might not be completely updated with this big hail core explosion, was dime-sized hail. So we'll see if that holds up to be true, but that looks a lot larger than dime-sized hail as of right now. Again, this is currently moving down to the south. All right, let me hop back over and see if I think we have a new warning somewhere. Let me take a look. And we also have some, I do think we have a warning down near Houston. Oh, it's a flash flood warning. We did actually have some severe thunderstorm warnings down here in Houston. There is a new warning over in Nevada that will not be counted in the warning counter. Also, there is hail and trees down over in Henderson, Nevada. So there is obviously some severe weather ongoing over there in Nevada. This is just one of the pictures that we are getting in here in Nevada. We zoom in a little bit. So yeah, obviously a tree down here. You kind of see the hail. It's obviously going to be melting with how hot it is. It's not going to be on the ground for that long, but very clearly some damage there. Unfortunately, that again is in Henderson, Nevada from Tracy on Twitter. So yeah, that'll be something to watch pretty closely. Again, a lot of hail with these storms as well. And that doesn't just go for the ones in Nevada. It goes for anything out this direction as well. Hey, Somni, how you doing? Welcome back. I think there's no tornado warning as of right now, and I don't expect really much of a tornado threat. Obviously, these cells, for the most part, are very discreet, so we very well could see maybe a brief sort of tornado, but the overall shear is just not that strong tonight. But we'll have to wait and see. I think the main concern at this point is going to be hail. We've had a load of hail ongoing with these cells, and this is the latest radar update, by the way. Hail core is slightly smaller in the latest scan, but it's not a big difference. It's at least still probably at peaking around hen egg size right now, going toward Genoa. Let me go back over to the velocities as of right now. We have a huge wind field over here just off to the west too of Genoa, north of 22 and west of 39. That area there is probably the 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds that this cell is currently warned for, and you can clearly see that on radar. As of right now, the velocity is estimated between 60 to 70. Again, that's a few hundred feet off the ground, but that is pretty close to what we'll probably be seeing at the ground over here near Genoa, and that's again just a little bit off the storm. But overall, the hail is really currently really packing a punch with this storm, and we're probably seeing a lot of it. I'm curious to see if we'll have any cumulative hail with any of these storms as well. That does quite often happen with some of these hail cores, and even during this time of the year as well, we do sometimes see that cumulative hail. It's not out of the question, but I do think the temperatures are a little bit warm for that, but definitely not out of the question. We do have a new report coming in, by the way, of golf ball sized hail. That is from a trained weather spotter, so we are a bare minimum of golf ball sized hail with this storm now near Genoa. That's our latest update. So extreme hail right now in this storm. Let me go over to the, let's take a look. All right, so let's go back down to the south real quick. We'll update you a little bit more on Kearney. Again, this is the storm, and again, in a bit more of a populated region. Again, anywhere near Interstate 80 is much more popular, or populated, I should say, here in Nebraska. This is a look at the live radar down this direction. As of right now, we're looking at golf ball-sized hail here near Highway 30, and as well as Interstate 80. That hail is currently embedded in this little black area. Again, that's going to be moving toward Interstate 80 over the next several minutes. Again, a cell to watch very closely. The other warning here for Shelton, I believe, is probably at least going to be let to be expired, or it's going to get canceled, but one of the two. That storm is definitely weakening out. This one, though, going toward Interstate 80 has really remained the same intensity for the last several minutes, so we will have to watch that one pretty closely. I did forget to mention, by the way, there is a severe thunderstorm watch ongoing until 9 o'clock tonight. That does include this large area here across Nebraska and western Iowa. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning back up in Minnesota. This is a cell that is now producing up to half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is your hail core. It's back west of Brewster. This is an area, I believe, that we actually had some pretty significant severe weather back at least at the end of last month or earlier this month. So definitely an area that we've seen some severe weather in the past, and that's going to possibly be another threat here near Brewster. Worthington, Round Lake, also going to be in the track of that over the next several minutes. We do still have this hen egg sized hailstorm going. I don't think it's hen egg anymore. We actually had a report of tennis ball sized hail in Rock Valley. That is that's a more recent update. When we last looked at it, it was golf ball size. So we've at least had tennis ball sized hail with this cell over here, just west of Sioux Center. So big update there, up to tennis ball sized hail. That is pretty significant, to say the least. Also, we do have another report of $half sized hail near Lamar. So that's a new update there, west of Highway 75. Let's hop back down to the south. We'll go back over to the severe thunderstorm warning near Columbus, and we'll kind of hover over this one for right now. This has, again, been a very potent cell. Latest radar update showing even more significant hailstone size, possibly, again, around golf ball to maybe hen egg size. Again, our latest report is golf ball sized hail on this cell. And now we have a latest report. We are up to baseball sized hail. That is a new report. We are up to baseball sized hail right now on this storm. So again, this is a new update. We are now up to baseball sized hail on the latest report from a trained weather spotter in the area. Again, that is a massive, I was mentioning it before, this hail core really blew up quick. So again, that is from a trained weather spotter as of 1 minute ago. That's our latest report. 6:09 p.m. or technically 3 minutes ago now, but that is our latest report on this storm. Again, in Genoa, that is our latest report. We now are up to, at least the report at 6:06 was golf ball sized. 3 minutes later, it is now up to baseball sized hail in this storm. And yeah, you can see now it's a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So baseball sized hail is now a potential with this storm, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, if you do have any photos or videos, if you even see any on Twitter, feel free to tweet me those, but as of right now, this is going to be going into Genoa. That is a significant upgrade from what we just saw a moment ago. Again, destructive severe thunderstorm warning ongoing. It is moving down to the south. A serious hailstorm. We are Columbus storm is now, okay, so there's now a tornado possible as well. So we are now on a tornado possible with this as well. Let me change over to a tornado possible label. So as of right now, this storm is not just producing baseball-sized hail, but it also is producing the potential for a tornado now. So there's a low-end tornado threat right now. A little bit of rotation on this, and you can kind of see it. It's not anything too crazy. It is actually a bit more defined than before, though. That is where the rotation would like to be. I mean, this is where you have your inflow going into the storm. Again, a tornado would like to sit kind of in that little notch there. So there's a possibility that we start to get a little bit more rotation on this cell, and it is a massive supercell. I mean, we're talking extreme hail right now with this cell. Again, our latest report from a trained weather spotter in the area was tennis ball sized hail. Baseball sized hail. Keep getting the two mixed up. Let me go back over to Twitter and see if we have anything new on this. Again, Genoa, Clarks, and Silver Creek, Nebraska are the three locations included in this warning. Those are three big locations in this area that are currently included in this warning. Again, this is near Highway 30 and just off to the north of Highway 30 as of right now. It is moving down to the south. But as of right now, we do have a new update on this storm. It is currently producing baseball-sized hail. Let me go ahead and make a little post on Twitter real quick about this storm too. We'll do that real quick. Yeah, if you're not already following my Twitter page, I will be retweeting some photos on there as well. I'm just going to go and do this real quick. By the way, if you're just tuning in, hit the like button down below. Helps our page out a lot. All right. Just tweet that on Twitter, by the way. So if you want to go check that out, just a picture of the storm. But as of right now, this is a serious supercell. We're going to take a look and see if we have any sort of view in this area of the storm. I'm not sure if we do. Again, this is near Highway 30, so we'll have to go a little bit north here. And it doesn't look like we do, but we'll definitely monitor this pretty closely. Let's take a look. But yeah, this is, again, a significant supercell. Moving down to the south as of right now, Silver Creek is in the track. Again, baseball-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, a little bit of rotation. It is a mess with this storm as of right now. But we'll, again, be watching this very closely. I do have a little view of the storm. It's just not much. Kind of looking from over here near Columbus, but it's not the best view. Again, we'll kind of look around and see if we have any camera views going on in the storm. But it's, again, a very dangerous storm as of right now. That is, again, moving down to the south. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a track on this. I know it probably will not move too quickly, but we'll go ahead and put a little track on this, kind of give you an idea of where this is heading over the next several minutes. And let's go and put this on real quick. This is a look at the track. Again, I'm going to kind of track out the storm over the next few minutes on where this is heading. It's going about 18 miles per hour. I'd say it's moving a little bit faster than 15. But as of right now, again, the baseball-sized hailstorm, it's not probably going to stay that large this entire time. But as of right now, Duncan, 622, Silver Creek, 638, Clark, 7 o'clock, Oscolia, right around 709, Shelby, 711, Stromsburg, right around 726, Polk, right around 732, Gresham, right around 749, Benedict, right around 749 as well, and Thayer, right around 8 o'clock. That is your timing again on this cell, currently moving down to the south. And again, it does have a little bit of rotation, so we'll be watching this pretty closely as it moves down that direction. Kearney has a little bit of rotation. I'll take a look at it here in a second. As of right now, again, we are in Nebraska. That is currently where we're at. It's a pretty significant storm that's moving down to the south. Here's our latest report, by the way, just for clarity on where the location is of the baseball-sized hail report. That is where it is. It's kind of here along, it's just north of 22. And 63, that's where it is. So just north of 63. Again, a couple miles north of Genoa. That is where we've had our baseball-sized hail reported by a trained weather spotter in the area. Again, we don't have any pictures or anything like that on Twitter to show you, but we'll keep you updated if we get any. We probably will at some point, but that is, again, pretty significant hail. Moving down to the south, as I mentioned before. Real quick, we're going to go back down to the Kearney storm. We do have, somebody said maybe a little bit of rotation. It is producing up to golf ball-sized hail. So quarter-sized hail is reported on the latest scan. Let's look at the velocities real quick, and I'm not seeing any rotation, but watch this one closely. Again, Gibbon and east of Kearney is the areas included. That is, again, moving down to the south. We're going to primarily leave our focus, though, right now on the ongoing storm west of Columbus. That is, again, producing some significant baseball-sized hail moving down to the south. And let's go back over to the velocities. And I'm not seeing, again, anything too crazy in terms of rotation. Again, if there was to be any sort of tornado threat with this, it would likely be in this little hook that you kind of have up here. A little bit of an inflow going to the storm. Again, there might be a little bit of area rotation there, kind of just off to the northwest of Genoa. Luckily, off to the west of Genoa, I know it's a little bit more rural, so it hopefully will not impact as many people if there were to be any sort of tornado threat with this over the next several minutes. We'll be watching this pretty closely as it moves down to the south. No, Ohio's not included. This is, again, the main areas tonight is going to be Nebraska, Western Iowa. It's not really large risk. I'll go and pull it up real quick anyways, just for kind of clarity on where we're at as of right now. This is a look at it. So slight risk ongoing. Obviously, just kind of look at the marginal threat. It goes down through actually northwestern Kansas and southwestern Minnesota. Again, northwestern Iowa is also included. That's the area tonight. Nowhere else outside of this is really going to see much in terms of severe weather. If you do, it's probably going to be pretty minimal tonight. There's very isolated, sporadic severe weather events that we're seeing, kind of over in the southwest. We've been seeing that the last several days or even weeks. And there's also a little event down in southeast Texas that is, again, very, very sporadic, isolated severe weather. There's actually a marginal threat down that direction, but other than that, that's what we're watching at as of right now. By the way, these two warnings will expire in 11 minutes. Obviously, they will be reissued as the storm does track down to the south, as long as it stays pretty pronounced. The latest scan does show a slight weakening in the hail core, but we saw that only about 15 minutes ago, but then it really spiked again, so we very well could see this kind of re-strengthen again with the hail core that we do currently have ongoing. That is, again, currently moving down to the south. Hey, Eric, how you doing? No problem, Weeping. Appreciate you tuning in. Look at Twitter. I will take a look. Flooding damage from Smithers, West Virginia from the other day. Oh, that's a video. Okay, never mind. All the severe thunderstorms. Thank you. Yeah, we got a lot of warnings and whatnot out there. There's plenty. I don't know how many warnings are we at right now. I think we're at 11, or actually at 9. So as of right now, we're at 9 severe thunderstorm warnings. There's a confirmation from Reed of baseball-sized hail. Is Reed Timmer out here? I don't know who's live streaming. So apparently there's somebody that has confirmed baseball-sized hail. Has Reed confirmed that? I know he's out this direction. All right, let me go back over to the velocities. He's actually out here. I didn't even know he was in Nebraska today. So apparently, Reed Timmer's actually confirmed that there is baseball-sized hail here. I was not aware that he was actually out here today. Back over to the live radar. Again, not a whole lot of rotation as of right now. We are primarily watching the hail threat as of right now that is still baseball-sized hail. The latest radar update has come in, or it's probably going to come in here pretty soon. Probably in about 2 minutes, I'd say, is our next radar update. The latest one was at 6:18, so we'll have another one in about a couple minutes. Again, this storm's currently moving down to the south. Hail core is likely going to be going towards the next location is Silver Creek and eventually toward Highway 30 and Clark. So those are going to be the next locations and track of this ongoing threat for baseball-sized hail as it moves down to the south. And again, Genoa is the area that we had confirmation. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. I don't know if he's actually there. He might not actually be there. All right, so the warning, by the way, I know it says quarter-sized hail on the screen. It is still baseball-sized hail, just for reference. This storm specifically is baseball-sized hail. The warning just has not updated. This warning has been condensed down to quarter-size due to the fact the hail core is now outside of that location for Monroe. So just for reference, again, Genoa is still seeing baseball-sized hail potential as of right now. I know the warning is not updated. There's also still a tornado possible, I'm pretty sure, on this warning. Let's go back over to the velocities. And yeah, there's still a little bit of rotation there. So we'll have to watch it closely. Again, rotation's been pretty broad as of right now. No, you're good. So Reed Timmer's not out here. I think he's down in the southwest still. I think he's down tracking the floods and whatnot. Yeah, he's in Arizona. It was just a confusing tweet. He tweeted something out about the baseball-sized hailstorm. But no, he's not tracking this. He's I'm pretty sure he's in Arizona today. There's a significant flash flooding threat going to Arizona and New Mexico tomorrow. If you guys have watched my latest forecast, there's a significant threat going down that direction. So that's what we're looking at as of right now, down that direction. All right, let's hop over. As of right now, we're going to get probably a new warning anyways here pretty shortly. But again, we're still on baseball-sized hail with this storm. It very well could be maybe shrinking. Let's go over to the hail radar, and we'll take a look and see what the estimates are on radar. And it's actually crazy enough. This is actually peaked. Oops, I did not mean to do that. It actually peaked back up here near possibly in between, almost like teacup-sized hail back up north of 39. So there very well could have even been a little bit larger than baseball-sized hail. Now, where we had the report of baseball-sized hail was basically right here. That's, again, near 63A. It was 2 inches estimated by radar. Now, give or take, the location may have been off by a little bit. Back over here, though, here near 39, we've seen a lot so far of hail around baseball, if not even slightly larger-sized hail. So we are seeing a significant amount of hail as of right now with this storm northwest of Genoa. Again, this is currently tracking down to the south. But yeah, definitely a storm to watch very closely. Again, a very significant supercell right now moving down south. Yeah, I'm glad Reed Timmer's down there in Arizona. It's a good thing that he's doing down there. Yeah, there's a crazy amount of flash flooding, though. That's an insane amount of flash flooding. It's ongoing down that direction. All right, let's go back over to the live radar. Again, this is a look at the storm as of right now. And latest update, by the way, showing it's still a fairly large hail core. It's actually stretching a little bit further off to the east than the latest scan. Just east now 39 is where we have a little bit of an extension here. Maybe a little bit of hail, by the way, back up here, just off to the west of 39 as well. That is off north of 22. So that's kind of where, again, we had a little bit of an inflow going to the storm. We still do, so there's still a chance that we get a little bit of rotation here. So definitely a cell to watch, again, as this moves down to the south over the next several minutes. Again, this is not quarter-sized hail. It is currently baseball-sized hail warned. Again, it's not updated on my end for whatever reason, but it is baseball-sized hail. Again, we have recent reports from a trained weather spotter of baseball-sized hail 2 miles north of Genoa. So I'll be watching closely to see if we ever get any photos of that hail, but other than that, obviously, it has been confirmed, so we are definitely watching that very closely. We still have a little bit of rotation. We'll have to watch that closely as well. Let me go back over and see if we have any new updates on the warning in Genoa. We'll take a look. And by the way, if you're in this area, make sure you're staying away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this is a pretty destructive warning. We do have a new report, by the way, of golf ball-sized hail from a Facebook picture. That is in Genoa. I'm not sure where that is, but that was from 11 minutes ago. So we don't have a specific location. We got a bit more specific location. We'll have a bit more detail on, where we can kind of pinpoint that. We'll probably have that on this map here in a moment anyways. That was, again, I don't have a specific location. This is, again, in Nance County, Nebraska for reference, but that is our latest update. This supercell, by the way, is a pretty sick structure. I'm going to go and retweet that on my Twitter page, by the way. Again, we have some pictures over there of some of the photos of these storms that are going crazy right now. Again, you can go check that out on Twitter. Thank you, Uppin, by the way, for subscribing. Again, if you've not hit the subscribe button, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We are currently, I think, 25 subscribers from 16,000, so we're pretty close to another goal. 23 subscribers. That's awesome, Zero. Those are so cool to see. Yeah, I love looking at rainbows, even if they're not anything special. Thank you, Sean, for becoming a Hurricane Chaser member. I appreciate that, Sean. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Again, Wages, if you're still here, I do appreciate you becoming a Tornado Chaser as well. Thank you guys for becoming members. Appreciate it. Upgrading your membership, actually. Appreciate it. All right, let's go back over to here. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Welcome back. Flash flood warning near Las Vegas. There is a lot of warnings out there. And a lot of flash flood warnings too. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. We are now down to ping pong ball sized hail. This does include Minden, Hartwell, and Norman. This is a storm moving down to the south, and this now has a tornado possible label. So we're watching this one too closely. It does have a little tornado possible label as well. I'm not seeing a whole lot in terms of rotation, but it does have that tornado possible label. Watch it closely, but I'm not seeing anything too crazy as of right now. But again, moving down to the south. So Hartwell, Minden, Norman, main areas in the track of this. It may get into areas maybe just west of Blue Hill. So we'll have to watch that closely. Areas like Campbell, as well as maybe Upland. I don't think this cell specifically will reach Kansas, but we'll have to wait and see. It might reach extreme northern Kansas, maybe as a weaker storm. But as of right now, again, this cell is now down to ping pong ball sized hail. Again, this cell currently back out here to the north, and this is the other radar site. You can just clearly see a very large hail core here near Genoa, going towards Silver Creek. Again, this cell is currently warned for baseball sized hail. We will be getting brand new warnings here in just a moment. Another cell that I want to note real quick, this cell actually got warned again near Pender. There was a report of quarter-sized hail, so Bancroft as well as Lyons, Rosalie kind of in the track of the cell as of right now, moving down to the southeast. Again, a brand new update on this warning. That is just one thing to note there as well. Back up here to the north, we do have some new updates on these warnings. These are also producing some significant hail as well. This is near Orange City, Granville, Owens, as well as Remsen. Currently producing up to golf ball sized hail in the storm near Maurice and Orange City, and that also has a tornado possible on it as well. We'll take a look real quick at the velocities. And a very broad rotation, nothing too crazy. Again, tornado possible doesn't mean a tornado warning, just means we're watching that maybe a little bit of rotation. It might get tornado warned at some point down the road. Back down over here near Ramsden as well as Owens, $half sized hail, that is moving off to the east. So any of these cells back up here in Iowa as of right now are tracking off to the east. The ones down here to the south are tracking for the most part south or southeast. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. The ones over here, the one near Columbus and the one near Kearney, are both currently moving down to the south. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Napkin, we'll see. I'll be probably watching it. But yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to watch the Northern Lights. Not a lot of people saw it last night. Obviously, there was a lot of cloud cover back up in the Northern Plains, so it kind of hindered the overall chances of seeing it. But tonight, I think will be a bit of a different story for some areas. I think like North Dakota, a little bit less cloud cover due to the low pressure system kind of moving off to the east, which is good news. But I'm sorry to hear that, Moni. I hope you get better soon. Hey, Dobbs, how you doing? Welcome back. Thank you, Tori, by the way, for upgrading as well to a Tornado Chaser. I appreciate that, Tori. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Take that over here real quick. Again, new warning's going to come out in a minute. We'll probably get a new update on the hailstone size with this storm here in a moment as well. So stay tuned. We'll give you an update. Again, in 1 minute from now, we'll have an update on this storm. Again, it is currently baseball-sized hail warned. Again, it just glitched on my end. We will probably get a little update, though, here in a moment on this storm here in a second. In Minnesota, southwest Minnesota, yeah, anywhere in Minnesota, unfortunately, that little, like, positively tilted trough is kind of centered back up in Minnesota, so it's going to kind of affect the Northern Lights viewing tonight as well, unfortunately. But, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate right now, what's going on up there. A lot of clouds really everywhere. All right, we do have a new warning. It is baseball-sized hail, so brand new severe thunderstorm warning. We are currently at a tornado possible. We are also at baseball-sized hail. That is, again, an observed threat. This is not radar indicated, and also the potential for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Again, that is a brand new warning for the cell that is currently moving down to the south. So again, a significant update on this warning. 7:15, by the way, is the time of expiration on this severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. Genoa, by the way, Silver Creek, Clarks, anywhere near Highway 30 here, and as well as Oscal. I'm not sure how you say this name. Oscalia? I might be butchering that name, but that's near 92, north of Stromsburg. So that's what we're looking as of right now for this new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is a destructive threat moving down to the south. And as of right now, we are currently, I've had the number at 9 warnings. We're technically at 10, but it's a bit easier to just put it at 9. There's actually 2 severe thunderstorm warnings on that, so we got rid of 2 there. Lincoln, Nebraska, you might, I don't know if you'll see much. If you see anything, it might just be a passing shower, maybe a little weak storm, but nothing beyond that, I don't think. Let's go back over to the hail radar. We'll take a look and see the latest updates through Genoa. and take a look at least at the hail size that's being estimated. And then the latest updates are still around baseball-sized hail. So really anywhere here near Genoa. Back down here to the south of 22, around hen egg-sized hail. I do believe the storm now, the hail core, is kind of a bit further off to the north, though. I think it's back up here now, right? Yeah, the hail core is now redeveloped back near Genoa, so that would explain why it's a little bit lower down here, but that is still pretty sizable hail with this little tail to the storm. The other area here is really where we have our main hail core near Genoa. Again, that'll be tracking down to the south over the next several minutes. Definitely gonna be a cell to watch very closely. And that's what we're looking at as of right now with this warning. But again, as of right now, we're actually down to 6 severe thunderstorm warnings, but again, there's a lot of pretty significant hailstone storms going right now, a lot of significant hail. And it also includes one now near Kearney. There's also a couple up in Iowa. So we have a lot of hail ongoing with these storms. We're going to primarily focus, I think, on this one for right now. So there is just such large hail with this one. Again, baseball-sized hail is pretty significant. I do have a new report, by the way, in Mars of some hail from a meteorologist actually picked it up. It looks like that is, I'm not sure what size it is. I think it's around quarter, maybe $half size. Yeah, it looks about $half size over in Mars, Iowa, as well as Brunsville. So I'll retweet that on our Twitter as well. That is another update that we're getting there. That was in Siouxland, by the way, kind of that area. So yeah, again, we had some pretty crazy hail over there too. There's a lot of hailstorms ongoing. We got some in Iowa. We got some here in Nebraska. We got a couple even over in southwest Minnesota. So there's a lot ongoing as of right now. We have 8 warnings? I don't think we do. Let me take a look. No, we're still at 6. Unless I'm missing something, but I think we're only at 6 right now. Back over to the velocities, we'll take a look. And again, as of right now, a little bit of rotation. Just a little bit. Kind of here near Genoa as of right now. Again, here your wind's going away from the radar, wind's going toward the radar. That is your counterclockwise rotation. But as of right now, it's not very tight. It is definitely still broad as of right now. Let's take a look at a little bit higher up. And there is more rotation as you go higher up on that cell. So there may even be a funnel cloud of some sorts with this as well near Genoa. It's not out of the question. Near the surface, the rotation is not nearly as strong, but it is a little bit stronger, closer, or a little bit higher up, probably a few thousand feet up in the atmosphere. So definitely a storm to watch. We might actually get a tornado warning if it starts to strengthen a little bit, but that's going down again to the south as of right now. This again back over to the severe thunderstorm warning as of right now, moving down to the south. Again, Clarks and as well as Silver Creek going to be in the track of this over the next several minutes. Orange Sill, yes, I'm aware of that. Yeah, we have 3 storms right now with tornado possible labels. So currently have 3 right now ongoing with that. I'll have to watch that closely. Sounds good, Eric. Hey, Dusk, how you doing? Welcome back. Here. Right, cool. I hope you stay safe, Tori. There's a lot of crazy storms out there, and this is obviously the craziest one that we've seen so far. We do have a new report of baseball-sized hail. It is still hailing baseball-sized hail in Genoa, so we are still at baseball-sized hail right now in Genoa. That is a new report. It is literally 2 minutes ago, so we do have still ongoing baseball-sized hail. That's been ongoing possibly for the last 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. It's been going for a little while there, so there's a lot of significant hail right now falling in this area. So again, that's our brand new update. We are still on baseball-sized hail at the storm as it moves down to the south. Welcome back, Bill. Any rotation? I don't think there's any rotation in Minnesota per se. I think it's mainly with any of these storms. Like this one, for example, has a little bit of rotation. The one near Kearney, it was tornado possible, but I don't think there's much rotation on that one. The one back up here, I think just south of Sioux Center, has a little bit more rotation. So there isn't a whole lot of rotation, though, back up in Minnesota. It's primarily a damaging wind threat up that way. We're looking at a lot more of a hail threat down here, though. The lapse rates are a little bit higher down here. They're definitely much higher, actually, overall. They are pretty significant down this direction. Look real quick. The lapse rates. I'm actually not sure what the exact lapse rate number is. I'm pretty sure it's around 8 degrees Celsius per kilometer, though. It's pretty good for hailstorms. Actually, it's not even that high. It's actually currently around 7, so 7 degrees Celsius per kilometer. And this is probably the one exception. There hasn't been any storms really above, I think, golf ball size beyond just this one. So this is a big exception. Overall, though, the lapse rates outside of this are between 6.5 to 7 degrees Celsius per kilometer, which means the temperature as it goes throughout the atmosphere is not going, or it's not dropping off nearly as quickly, which usually helps to prevent hailstones from becoming much larger than usually, like, you know, your smaller hailstones. So anywhere from quarter to maybe $half size. So in the occasional instances like ping pong pong ball. Today's maximum hailstone size was actually hen egg size hail. So we were having that very isolated chance because, again, these cells are all discrete. We don't really have any cells that are connected to each other other than the ones back up here to the north, back closer to the trough. These are all very, very discrete supercells, which is a completely different story from when we could see, this whole linear line of storms that would probably only be producing maybe some gusty winds or even isolated damaging winds. So it's kind of a little situational thing, but these cells are just so discrete that there is a bit higher of a chance of having this large hailstone size like this. In terms of this, it's right now baseball size. So that's what's currently happening. By the way, we do have some hail in Minneapolis of quarter-sized hail. I'm going to show you guys. So this is over in Minneapolis. We do have a report of quarter-sized hail. That is pretty close, I'd say, to quarter. It might be closer to nickel, but I mean, give or take, probably about a tenth of an inch there. But overall, that is definitely a little bit of quarter-sized hail that fell there over in Minneapolis. So that's our latest update there. The quarter-sized hail over that direction. I'm doing good, Squidward. How about you? I'm pretty good. Andy, as of right now, the stuff down in the South Texas area, I'll take a look at it if we have time, but as of right now, we're primarily focused on any of the severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing, which really includes this one. But we'll definitely take a look if we have a little bit of time. But overall, I think most of the severe weather action down that direction should be starting to come to a little bit of an end down in southeast Texas, but the only threat is really just going to be flash flooding, so there might be some isolated flash flooding. By the way, we do have a little bit of rotation still ongoing with this. As I mentioned before, it's not strong, but there is a little bit there. Actually, that might be hail congestion. Never mind. That's definitely a little bit more of a hail congestion, kind of more of anything. But overall, the rotation beyond that is not really much. It's more of a hail component. And again, where any hail would probably be over hen egg size right now would be up here near 22. This hail core down here near Silver Creek is definitely shrinking a little bit, which this is probably golf ball size or less down this direction. But up back near Genoa, this is likely still around baseball size. And again, our latest report from 15 minutes ago, I believe, was baseball size hail. That's our most recent report on this cell specifically. And yeah, that's correct. So 622 was our latest report from the public of baseball-sized hail falling Genoa. Obviously, Genoa, the downtown area at least, is no longer seeing that. It's probably just down to your southwest if there is still baseball-sized hail ongoing. But we have a lot of hail reports coming in from this cell as well, which is pretty surprising, honestly. There's a population, I believe, of 3,000 in this area. So it is not a very populated area in that warning from before. So Genoa is not an overly large town, but there's obviously a lot of storm chasers and whatnot in this area, which is something to kind of keep in mind. I appreciate it, thanks. Appreciate it. No problem, time. No problem. I am live. I am live today. All right, I'm back over to here. So storm chaser on the ground, confirmation of baseball-sized hail hitting Windshield in St. Edward, Nebraska. Where is St. Edward? Is that down here to the southwest? I'm not sure where St. Edward is. That over here? So in St. Edward, Nebraska, there was a report of... Figure out where that is real quick. So St. Edward, Nebraska, again, our latest report was baseball-sized hail was hitting a Windshield. That's just off northwest of Columbus, so that's kind of in this area. So, okay, St. Edward's actually just off to the north. So, there was a report of baseball-sized hail near St. Edward. This is probably this storm, but the windshield, a storm chaser literally lost their windshield. I'm going to retweet that on Twitter, by the way, if you want to go take a look. Again, it's linked down in the description below, but that is a new report that we have coming in. Baseball-sized hail literally broke the windshield in St. Edward. That's obviously, it's very dangerous weather out here. It's a lot of hail, as I mentioned before. Baseball-sized hail easily can break windshields and whatnot out there. When it comes to, like, quarter-sized hail, for example, it's a little bit more difficult for windshields to really be damaged that much. But when we really start ramping up to baseball-sized hail, it does become a much different story. So that's what we're looking at again with this cell as of right now, as it moves down to the south as of right now. Again, baseball-sized hail still the threat. Watch and see if this does get any sort of difference or different sort of warning. Might get up or might get downgraded to tennis ball size, but we'll see. Yeah, there's not been a whole lot of rain over here recently, and the drought just continues across a lot of the Central Plains too. I mean, it's been kind of increasing. It hasn't really continued. It's more been an increase over time, unfortunately, and it's probably going to continue over the next several days too, and probably next several weeks. There's gonna be a little cold, there's gonna be a little low pressure system down in Texas next week that is going to bring a substantial amount of rain to those areas. I mean, we could be possibly seeing as much as half a foot in some locations. So those areas, really anywhere in Texas, needs rain. Beyond that, I mean, Central Plains, like even Kansas and even Western Nebraska, even Northern Nebraska kind of needs the rain too. By the way, this storm is definitely weakening. So we're starting to see a little bit of a weakening trend over the last scan or two, which is good news. So baseball-sized hail does seem to be coming down to a little bit of a close. Not a complete close, but we'll watch this again pretty closely as it moves down to the south. But it does seem like it's weakening a little bit. Now, let me back over to Twitter. We'll see if there's any new reports on this storm, but it does look like the hail core is starting to weaken a little bit. While we have a second, let's hop back over here to the north. Let's go back up towards Sioux Center, as well as down here near Lamar's. Again, we had some reports of half-dollar-sized hail with this storm recently, and this cell right now near Orange City is currently warned for golf ball-sized hail, but it does seem to be weakening a little bit. Rotation with these cells seems to be pretty minimal. We do have a little bit more rotation, it looks like, back near Lake Park. We'll take a look at this as well. No, that's definitely not rotation. But that's a little bit, maybe just wind more than anything. But overall, more of a, like a little half-dollar sized hail threat. We have a little bit of that near north of Harris and southwest of Round Lake. A little west of Harris as well, near 9. So we have a couple of areas of a little bit of hail. But other than that, tornado threat still seems to be pretty low up this direction too. The severe thunderstorm watch, by the way, does go until 9 o'clock Central. So another 2 hours or so. I do think most of the severe weather does wind down around 8 o'clock or so. Might still have an isolated cell after that, but we'll have to wait and see. The cell back down here over to the southeast of Kearney is currently still ongoing. It is producing still a little bit of ping pong ball sized hail at the maximum, but I don't think we're seeing too much beyond that. Again, that's what we're looking at just west of Hartwell. Just a little bit of maybe, half-dollar, maybe ping pong ball sized hail as of right now. We actually do have a recent report in Gibbon of golf ball sized hail. So we actually have seen a little bit larger of hail there. Again, in Buffalo County, Nebraska. That is just west of Hartwell. So a little bit of golf ball sized hail that has actually been reported with that cell, but the warning is obviously still going to be ongoing here for the next few minutes for ping pong ball sized hail. So definitely some significant hail down that direction as well. Watch the storm over the next couple of minutes. We'll see if this one does strengthen or just continues to weaken. As of right now, though, it has been on the weakening trend. And also, I'm going to retweet another photo of the storm structure of, it's actually a pretty crazy photo too. Again, Twitter's linked down in the description below. Very crazy photo there. It's actually it's definitely it was a rotating supercell here near Silver Creek, and I think it might be still rotating, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Hey Kyle, how you doing? Welcome back. Doing well, thank you for asking. Yeah, we're really covering for the most part from Minnesota back down through Nebraska. Northern, like far northwestern Kansas is kind of included tonight, but it isn't going to be, I don't think you'll see much down that direction. I think it's primarily going to be from here, from South Nebraska, all the way back through Minnesota. But yeah, as of right now, again, this cell is still producing potentially some baseball-sized hail, but I think that threat has gone down. I'm actually going to take a look. It might have actually already gone down. Let's take a look. Nope, still baseball-sized hail. The warning hasn't been downgraded yet. We'll have to wait and see. The next scan will probably give us an idea to see if this storm is still producing that extremely large hail that we've been seeing for the last several minutes. This is kind of a look at the estimated hail by radar. It has definitely dropped off a pretty substantial amount down to ping pong ball-sized hail, maybe north and northwest of Silver Creek. Beyond that, though, definitely a lot of hail still possibly going here. It's a pretty large area still. I mean, we're talking at least about 3 or 4 miles across the board here from, out back near Genoa, for example. You could have been in like extreme eastern Genoa and only seen pea-sized hail, while on the western end, you could have still been seeing pea-sized hail. It's a very large hail core that we saw go through this area. And obviously, the dead center of it was producing baseball-sized hail. And that was, again, reported in Genoa. But off to the northwest of Silver Creek, it is shrinking a little bit, but I do think we're still going to be seeing at least some small hail on the outskirts. Again, obviously, in the middle, we're going to see that larger hailstone size between quarter to maybe some ping pong ball sized hail, but it does seem the hail core has weakened a bit. Now, that's not obviously going to be confirmed yet. We could see it strengthen again in the next couple of scans. We'll have to wait and see. We'll be watching it closely. Again, Connie, we're currently in Nebraska as of right now. We are in Nebraska, which has a pretty significant severe weather still ongoing here. Just moving down to the south. Dylan, I've never heard of that. I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of that. Have there been any tornado warnings? As of now, we've had no tornado warnings, and I don't think we'll probably see really any. This storm's had rotation for a while. It's had a rotating updraft, but overall, the storm has not been really in the prime position to pose a tornado threat at this point. Change the title to large to very large hail. I'm gonna get rid of the tornado potential in the title for right now. We could see an isolated tornado again. This is still a tornado possible, but I do think the overall low level shear is pretty weak at this given time, so we're probably not going to see much of a tornado threat. This cell is definitely weakened in terms of the wind component. There is still a little bit of hail probably ongoing here west of Silver Creek. The overall hail core has luckily dodged the downtown area, but that's kind of where it is as of right now, near Highway 30. That is where we're seeing still a good amount of hail still ongoing with this cell. I mean, it's definitely still significant. It very well could possibly be between hen egg to maybe even up to tennis ball size. I don't think this is any larger, though, at this point, at least, than tennis ball size hail. I think the cap really right now is probably hen egg, but the hail core is definitely most potent here near 30. That's kind of where we're seeing the darkest, you can see the blacks as well as a little bit of that white color. That usually represents larger hailstones above typically hen egg size. So that's what we're looking at the cell as of right now. I've never heard of that TV channel. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard a lot of weather channels though. I know like the Weather Channel, AccuWeather, those sort of things. Never heard of that one though. Will it go tornado warn? No, not this one. This one's definitely not going to go tornado warn. It was a rotating updraft for a while. We kind of saw that with the photo on Twitter. It definitely looked pretty organized in terms of the supercell, but it's definitely not to the point where we're going to see a tornado threat with it. This is the other one, by the way. It's now downgraded to quarter-sized hail. This is north of Highway 6 and 34. That is, again, about to cross over, actually, Highway 6 and 34. Still a little hail core here just west of Hartwell and northeast of Minden, but definitely going to be weakening as it moves down to the south. It's going to start to go into a bit more of an unfavorable environment, and not just that, the temperatures, or really not the temperatures, I should say, the daylight heating is going to start to come to an end, probably about an hour or so, so we're going to start to see the storm weaken regardless. But Norman, still in the drag of this, very well could see a little bit of hail. It definitely looks like a pretty tight hail core though there. It's going to continue to move down to the south. You have another cell forming back down to the south of Elm Creek. That is not severe, but this will also be a storm to watch as it moves down to the south as well. That is again south of Interstate 80. That is north of Holdridge as of right now. So that'll be another cell to watch. We do have a new update on that warning that, again, was producing baseball-sized hail at one point. This cell has now been downgraded to golf ball-sized hail. So this warning is no longer at the size of before. Obviously, we're now down to golf ball-sized hail. That was pretty evident with what we've seen over the last several minutes. The hail core is weakening. There is still a tornado possible label. I'm going to kind of disregard that at this point. We're not really seeing a whole lot of rotation anymore with this cell. But we'll still monitor it closely to see if it can reorganize itself. But I do think that potential is going to be dwindling as that moves down to the south over the next several minutes. So that is, again, our new update this morning near Silver Creek, now down to golf ball sized hail, which is still pretty significant hail, by the way. It's not anything, to disregard if you're in this location. Hey, you too, EJ, appreciate you stopping by. Report of lots of hail covering the ground in Genoa. Let me go and take a look. Oh yeah, this is a lot of hail over in Genoa. This is what you call a cumulative hail. It looks like it literally snowed. Again, this is what we saw from the baseball-sized hailstorm. But man, that is a lot of hail. And it looks like this little glass light thing broke too, most likely again from that hail. So yeah, that is a serious hailstorm. I can't talk. That is pretty insane. That is a lot of hail. You even see it in the bucket here. Well, water. I think these are 2 watering buckets here. So yeah, this is pretty significant to say the least. I was sent in over on Facebook. That's pretty crazy. And yes, there was baseball-sized hail, by the way. That with this cell specifically, there was, from this person actually, he was able to find baseball-sized hailstones in the pile of hail, which there's a lot of hail there. So that is a lot of hail that we saw fall up there in Genoa. That's actually an extreme amount of hail. Usually don't see that. I mean, we've seen it before, but that's a load of hail, to say the least. And by the way, the latest radar scan still showing a bit of an increase again west of Silver Creek. A little bit of an increase there. Also a little bit of hail maybe just off to the west of 39 there. So a little increase near Highway 30 of maybe a little bit of golf ball up to hen egg sized hail potentially. So a little upgrade looks like on the latest radar update. So that'll be something to watch as it moves down to the south. Let's let you know what it tastes like. Hail just tastes like water. I mean, it tastes like ice and then water. That's basically all it is. I've never tried it, but I'm assuming that's what it tastes like. Storms in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Anything up that direction, just isolated damaging winds up to 60. Nothing beyond that, though. Those storms are not going to be that severe, but we'll watch it pretty closely if anything does become severe. That is a serious hailstorm that happened there. That was sent in by Tom on Facebook, by the way. He has some pretty good photos, by the way. And here's the baseball-sized hail, by the way. So this is the baseball-sized hail. It's probably around that size. Obviously, you would have to take an actual measurement to your computer or whatever to measure that, or have him measure it himself. But that definitely looks like baseball-sized hail. So there was, again, some significant hail there in Genoa. And I don't know. I don't think... Let me take a look. I don't think it's that... I'm pretty sure... Yeah, the population in Genoa is 905. So it's actually not that populated. And I'm kind of surprised. There's actually a decent amount of storm chasers out there, though, at least, because we have several reports from this storm all the way through the storm. From 91, we had the beginning of this at 539 was around nickel size. Then it was up to quarter size, 556. Went up to golf ball size at 606. Up to baseball size hail at 609. It was just a massive upgrade over that little time frame from about east of St. Edward through basically Genoa. And also baseball size hail is still falling there in Genoa around 622. So we saw in Genoa probably a good 15 minutes or so that there was baseball sized hail there. That's, again, pretty crazy. That's a lot of hail that fell in that one little area. So pretty significant to say the least. Squidward Black Cherry is my favorite flavor. No, I haven't really been looking at chat until now. So if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to let me know in the chat. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you've not already. We're 25 subscribers from 16,000. I would appreciate the subscribe button. Fruit Punch is pretty good too. Yeah, that's actually what I'm drinking right now, funny enough. Punch is pretty good. Shear values on these radars. I don't think I can go to any deep extent with shear. I mean, the only thing I can really show is like the low level winds and whatnot, and like, kind of like the low level jet. Let's look at the low level jet today. Low level jet. It's kind of hard to say. The low level jet's actually pretty weak today. I knew it was gonna be a little bit stronger back up here to the north, not by much, but the low level jet across the board around 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's weak. It's not anything that impressive. The 850 millibar level, which is typically like the low level shear area, is kind of around 20 to 25 too, so it's not overly impressive. And we've seen these kind of setups before where the winds are that weak and we typically don't see anything. So at this point, it does seem to be on the kind of the lower end. We do have a new warning, by the way, back up in portions of extreme southern portions of Minnesota and into northwestern Iowa. Quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds will be possible here. This storm is moving down to the southeast. So Spirit Lake Park is currently getting hit by the storm right now. Arnold's Park, Milford, Superior, Fosteria, all included in the path of this storm over the next several minutes. So another cell to watch as it moves down to the southeast. Let's hop back over to, let's go to Kearney real quick. We'll take a look and see if we have any new developments over here. As of right now, we have one little development. Yeah, that storm's not really developing to much. The storm over here is still east of Minden and west of Hartwell, kind of along Highway 6, excuse me now, and northwest of Norman is still pretty impressive here. It's definitely still an impressive storm, still producing hail, but other than that, I think the overall severity of the storm is definitely dwindling at this point as it moves down to the south. I don't think that storm will actually probably make it into Kansas. If it does, it's just gonna be a little shower, maybe a downpour. The only cell that's really left at this point that's really considered, considerable threat or anything beyond that is this cell here near Silver Lake. And again, this is the one that we've seen baseball sized hail with back up in Genoa, so it's still gonna be continuing for the next several minutes here near Highway 30. It is still producing around golf ball sized hail, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. Welcome back, Moxie. How you doing? Back. I think there's rotation by the Round Lake. There's not really any rotation, honestly, right now. I'll take a look at some of these storms and see, but pretty sure the rotation has been pretty minimal with everything. The overall storms, for the most part, won't be rotating a whole lot, I don't think. But we'll take a quick look. Back up to the other one near Spirit Lake. Pretty sure this one's mostly just damaging winds. Yeah, nothing there. One back down here near Lamar's. Maybe a little bit of something, but it's not much. And we do have a new warning, by the way, here near Quimby as well as Kingsley for 60-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar sized hail. So we do have a new update on this warning. That's, again, near 140. and that'll be moving down to the southeast over the next several minutes. So again, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning here. Another cell to watch pretty closely. All right, we're going to shift back down here to the south. We'll go back over to this storm right now. Again, this is golf ball sized hail. Watch the storm for the next few minutes, see if anything happens, but there's again moving down to the south as of right now. No problem, OU. I appreciate you stopping by and tuning in. Appreciate it. I do live streams like all the time, so I don't think we've actually had we haven't had a live stream for anything above a slight risk in weeks. It's been a while since we've really had any sort of crazy severe weather. We've had a couple of days though where there's been, you know, marginal threat or a slight risk, and the severe weather's gone bonkers, but we haven't had any of that recently, which is pretty good news. Obviously, we're kind of in August. August is not a month where we typically see that much severe weather anyways, but yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at anyways right now. I'm going to take a look at Twitter again and see if we have any photos coming in again on this cell, but yeah, as of right now, I'm not seeing anything new. Hey, AFW, how you doing? Welcome back. Yes, I'll probably stream in winter, yeah. I'll probably stream some of the winter events. I definitely plan on it. Again, I've never done it before. I've never done any of that sort of stuff. I've only ever done it for North Texas, but I do plan on doing a lot more of those sort of live streams coming up. And obviously, if there's any hurricanes, by the way, any tropical storms that are about to make landfall, I plan on going live for those. Those might be long live streams too. Those might be like, you know, 8-hour live streams, 10-hour live streams, depending on the severity of it. So we'll have a lot of live streams most likely for hurricanes, tropical storms, winter events. And again, this is my first rodeo with doing this sort of stuff. So we'll kind of be going live for whatever I think is needed, which any of those things are needed. So extreme flash flooding events, maybe in some instances too. So it's going to kind of depend. But yeah, I do plan on doing a lot of that stuff in the fall and winter. All right, we have another report coming in from Genoa. Take a look. This is a look at the hail falling in Genoa. Let me go and see if I can bring this to another tab real quick. It's kind of hard to do that. All right, let's hop back over here. So this is a video coming in from Genoa. Yeah, that is a lot of hail. And not a lot of that is even that large, at least at this given time. It literally looks like it's sleeting or snowing. That is pretty insane. Oop, I paused it by accident. That is a lot of hail. And you can even see the bird feeder there. It's kind of filling up with the hail too. What's the difference between a tornado watch and warning? I'm going to give you a little diagram here in a second. Little diagram. All right, that's crazy though. Let me go back over here real quick. One second. Give you a little diagram on kind of what the definition is here. All right. This is the difference between a watch and warning. So a watch, we have the ingredients to make tacos, and then warning, we're having tacos right now. So basically a warning, for an example of a tornado warning, is you seek shelter immediately. And that's kind of what you got to kind of do. And for tornado warnings, again, that means a tornado might be imminent, it might happen at any time, or it might even be on the ground at the time. A watch, though, is kind of like we have what is needed for tornadoes to occur. It may occur in your, you know, it might occur for you, so you need to be prepared for the day. That's kind of how I think about it. But obviously, that's just a little meme diagram. That's the taco watch and warning. Thank you, JW, as well as Danielle or Daniel, for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually, I've used that graphic on, whenever there's a severe weather event in North Texas, I always use that graphic. It's actually pretty spot on, honestly. Whenever we have like a tornado watch, it kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at. This cell, by the way, is really fizzling out quick. That's pretty good news. There's still a little bit of golf ball sized hail there, but it's definitely weakening. We have a brand new warning, by the way, near Sibley. This is up west of Spencer. This is for the potential for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and quarter-sized hail. That is moving down to the southeast toward Hartley, Everly, over the next several minutes, and Melvin. So that's a brand new warning. Again, a little extension there from what we had before. Warnings must be delicious. Yeah, right. Taco watch or taco warning. I'm never going to do that, but yeah. It's kind of just a little meme anyways. All right, let's get back down to the storm. We'll kind of watch the storm. If it has any crazy developments over the next few minutes, we'll stay live. But if not, we'll probably end it there. Watch this one closely though for the next few minutes. see what happens. It is still golf ball sized hail. I don't think it's been downgraded yet. And let's see. Yeah, it's still golf ball sized hail. Again, tornado possible still on it, but I think for the most part, this storm's going to be weakening as it moves down to the south. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to reach 16,000 subscribers tonight. We're only 20 away. But if you've not already, hit the subscribe button. If you have any friends that have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. We're only 20 away. Kind of hoping we can hit it tonight, but unfortunately, I think we're going to be a little bit short tonight on that. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. 16,000 is so close, but so far. Oh, I appreciate everybody's support on our forecast from yesterday. We've had an insane run on that forecast. That is the most viewed forecast I've ever had. That's 18,000 views. That is insane. So I appreciate everybody watching that video. That was a completely different video than I've ever done before, by the way. I typically don't do astronomy sort of things, or even space weather, I should really call it, because it's more of a space weather sort of thing. I typically don't do videos on that, but the video seemed to do pretty well. Hey, Patricia, how you doing? Welcome back. Am I gonna be live tomorrow? It's possible, but it's kind of like today. 40% chance I do, 60% chance I don't. Tomorrow's gonna be another potential, maybe an isolated tornado threat. It's gonna infect almost 9 million people actually, and then another 6 million people on Saturday. I'll give it about a 40% chance for both tomorrow and the following day. There might be a low-end tornado potential tomorrow again. The shear should increase a smidge, so it might create maybe an isolated tornado threat, but beyond that, I don't think I'll probably go. I mean, it's again 40% chance. I'll just say that. Thank you, Squidward, for gifting a membership, by the way. I appreciate that, Squidward. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support, Squidward. Thank you very much. Squidward, I think, is our second top gifter on the channel. I don't know how many gifted subs he has now, but thanks, Shelly. I appreciate it. Who got lucky? I have no clue. It doesn't even say yet. Apparently, make sure, by the way, if you want to gift a membership, turn on you have to click on the chat and turn it on. Because you might have not turned it on if you're in the chat. July 15th, 2021 outbreak. Was that? I'm pretty sure it was live for any outbreak that happened in July. Or was that 2021 you said? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Any outbreak this year, or any really severe weather events this year, I've been live for most of them. I say July 15th, I think I was live on, though, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, I wasn't. I was live on July 16th, apparently. That was the Nebraska severe weather outbreak, actually, that I was live for. That happened last month. Came out like 75. No, actually, Jaws has gifted 250 memberships total on the channel. He's gone crazy. Gifted memberships. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who got that gifted membership, but it doesn't even say. All right, so let me get back over here. All right, the storm again is moving down to the south. It is now down to ping pong ball sized hail. We may get a brief new warning on this, but I don't think we'll have anything beyond that, most likely. Hey, Hype Beast, how you doing? Welcome. I don't think anybody got the membership. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Right guy. There you go. Congratulations. Make sure to thank Squidward for the gifted membership. Only 17 subscribers from 16,000. So close. I don't think we're going to hit tonight, but we were very close. You have 5 tornadoes scream through. Yeah, that's crazy. Any of the tornadoes that have been, EF4, EF5s that have gone through Oklahoma have been just insane. I remember one, I think it was the Moore Oklahoma tornado. I think I was watching that on TV when it happened. It was several years ago, but like almost a decade ago. It's crazy to think. Alrighty, let me take a look if we have any new warnings as of right now. Again, we got 7 severe thunderstorm warnings, and most of them, I think, for the most part, are going to be starting to fizzle out a little bit. We do actually have a new update on the warning back up here to the north. This is up near Correctionville, Washita, Quimby, as well as Pearson. This warning is up to ping pong ball size hail, and the latest update is your ping pong ball size hail. So basically, the little black area there, that is going to represent your ping pong ball size hail. That is moving again off to the east toward Washita, as well as Quimby. That is potentially, again, ping pong ball size hail. 60-mile-per-hour winds with that cell. Beyond that, though, I don't think we have any other severe thunderstorm warnings outside of here. We got a lot of flash flood warnings. We actually have one over in Nevada, apparently. Let's go down to Houston real quick. Houston's not even having any severe weather, but I know somebody was asking about it. Houston, as of right now, actually, I did have a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust over in Hillshire Village. That's just on the outskirts of Houston there. But storms are moving down to the south. We got some moving off to the north as well. The ones down here to the moving off to these are all outflow driven, so they're kind of moving off to the north right now. The other cells as of right now, mostly moving down to the south. Most of those will likely go off the coast, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. Here's a look at the widespread event, by the way. I know some of you guys are wondering, will you have good viewing weather tonight for the Northern Lights if you're kind of, thinking about viewing them tonight? Unfortunately, a lot of areas will not have very good viewing conditions. And that really starts anywhere in this region, most likely. You're going to have probably tough ways to be able to see it, just due to the fact that clouds are going to be off to your north and whatnot. It might hinder the viewing experience. Northern Lights may be visible. I think I made a graphic. I don't know if it's pulled up anymore. No, it's not. But the Northern Lights are probably not going to be visible. Actually, I do have a graphic. One second. Let me find it. Kind of give you an idea. This is my forecast for tonight, but obviously this does not account for viewing conditions in terms of clouds. So just something to keep in mind. I'll have to find it real quick. And this is kind of just a look at how the storms have blown up over the last several minutes. All right, here it is. So this is my forecast for tonight. Yeah, so here you go. So this is the chance of seeing the Northern Lights tonight in my own forecast. Again, this is just a forecast. There's several other forecasts out there, but as of right now, the best chance to see it will be in the extreme northern plains, basically Minnesota, Wisconsin, maybe northern Michigan. You might see them if you're in that yellow shaded region. You probably will not see them in the red shaded region, but there's a possibility. It really depends on a lot of factors. It's hard to forecast these sort of events, but that is currently what I'm expecting tonight anyways. Pretty similar to last night, but it's slightly further to the north. The solar storm is not going to be as strong as last night, so that's just kind of an update there if you're curious. But overall, again, a lot of clouds are going to be present in this area and even back over here even. So clouds are going to be very present even over in New England too, so it's going to be probably a poor viewing experience unless you're in Montana. Montana had the best view last night. You'll probably have the best view again tonight. Beyond that, that's kind of what we're looking at. Even back up here near maybe Washington or Idaho as well, you might have decent viewing conditions, but that's kind of what I'm expecting as of right now in terms of the viewing for the potential Northern Lights tonight. Let me back over to the radar here. I'm going to stop the radar. And let's hop back over to this radar site for a moment. Take a quick look at this again. Yeah, the storm's definitely weakening out, so that's good. Oh, by the way, thank you, Squidward, for another gifted membership. I missed that. Thank you. Get it. I don't think anybody got that one either yet, but maybe sometime somebody will. Think it'll be a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning in Minneapolis? I don't think so. Let me take a look real quick. If there's any storms up there. I know there's quarter-sized hail reported up here, and nah, there won't be any tornado warnings or anything like that, obviously. No tornado threat really tonight at this point. I think that's kind of gone to a minimal, but beyond that, there's definitely probably at least a little bit of gusty winds with these storms. That'd be my only concern. Beyond that, though, seems like those threats are going down. We have a new report, by the way, of quarter-sized hail back over near Lake Park, and another one near Harris of quarter-sized hail, so we've had a few of those reports, but beyond that, not a whole lot of recent reports on these storms. The other one back, by the way, north of West Point, that is no longer warned. That storm has been weakening for a while, so there's a new update over there as well. And this storm is now down to quarter-sized hail, so we probably will not see a new warning on this one. Hey, appreciate you tuning in, Tamara. Appreciate your support. Hey, Cash, how you doing? Welcome back, or welcome. All right, just a friendly reminder, if you've not already, hit the subscribe button down below. We're literally 17 subscribers still from 16,000. Again, I would appreciate it. If you have not already, hit the like button. It also helps our page out a lot. But that's going to do it for the stream. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. It has been only about an hour, but that's pretty much what we're going to see for the rest of the night. Severe weather's going to be winding down anyways. I do appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Right now we're in Nebraska. There's a couple of storms up in Minnesota and a couple over here in Iowa. But beyond that, not a whole lot of severe weather anymore. We're going to kind of wind down the stream anyways. Appreciate everybody tuning in, though. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments anywhere on YouTube about any sort of stuff. I've not answered them in this live stream. Beyond that, again, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. If you're a new viewer here, hit the like button. Helps our page out a lot. Would really appreciate it. And that will do it for tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a safe rest of your night. If you're any of these warnings, again, make sure to stand away from windows. Hail and damaging winds can cause some damage, so you want to be making sure you stand away from windows tonight and lowest floor possible. All right, have a great rest of your night, guys, and we'll see you all again soon.